Well, hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing today? Thank you for joining for another episode of Life Matters with Michelle. I am your host, and we have a very exciting topic on today. You know, Life Matters is where we talk about the things that matter to you. So I invite you to ask your questions. I invite you to post your questions, and we will field your questions to our special guest on today. And if I may introduce you all to a wonderful special guest on today, and I can say that because he is none other than my husband, Shaun P. Johnson Sr. And I'm excited to have him on the show. I'm grateful to him because he filled in at the last minute when my previously scheduled guest was unable to make it. So thank you, honey, for filling in. We're going to jump right into it. Let me give you all a little bit of background about him. Of course, I can tell you off the top of my head, but I want to make sure I get everything right. So again, we have with us Shaun Patrick Johnson Sr. He is the founder of SPJ Graphic Designs and is based here in Maryland. And he has expertise, 22 years of expertise in graphic design. It's operated by him. He's a professional freelance graphic designer, and he continues to be creatively relevant while capturing and converting and creating projects for our clients with a special purpose in mind. He studied graphic design and communication at the University of the District of Columbia, and then he decided to start his own business. And I'm sure many of you who are watching and those of you who are yet to connect with him will be certainly pleased with what type of work he has done. His work can be seen all over corporations, across ministries, across small businesses, entrepreneurships. I mean, you name it, you can see his designs plastered everywhere. His work has been featured in design related publications such as at Howard University. He has a special design, a keen eye, I must say, for logos and seals. And I tell you, I could sit here and read his whole bio, but we're going to give him space to talk about himself, because I'm excited about what he is going to bring. You name anything about graphic design, and he is able to capture it and bring it to fruition. I tell you, he has an overflow of clients, and I know from personal experience, he has about 300 clients on his rostrum, and they contact him all days and all hours of the night. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to welcome our special guest. Hi, Shaun.
Hi, Michelle.
So y'all have to forgive me because I might slip up and call him baby in the midst of this interview, but that's all right because he knows I'm talking directly to him. So again, we are talking about today the topic of discussion. Again, he's filling in at the last minute because our previous guest was unable to come, and we're going to reschedule her, and she's excited about it. So God always has a ram in the bush. And so today we're going to talk about be the brand. Be the brand. And that has been my husband's echo and his sentiment throughout his whole career about helping people. And so I want to jump right into this, and I want to ask you a question. When I think about being the brand, I'm thinking about people telling who they are and pretty much who they want to represent. Am I right, or am I off brand, or am I off course? Explain exactly what brand means. What does that mean?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Michelle. I almost slipped and said baby, but
You
thank you,
can say
Michelle,
baby.
for having me on today. It is an honor and privilege to be with you on Life Matters with Michelle. Yes, branding is a marketing practice of creating a name, a symbol, or design that identifies and sets you apart from your competition, from another product, or another entity. And
Mm-hmm.
so in business for over 22 years, what I've done is I've applied um, people's identity and made it authentic to reflect who they are and what they stand for.
Okay.
And so you are the brand.
Mm-hmm.
You are the identity.
Okay.
You are who you are. That's why you have to be the brand.
All right. All right. So, okay. So when I think about that, so
Mhm.
for those who don't know or what have you, Shaun he's helped me down through the years. When we weren't married, when we are married. Even if you look at my bug that says "Life Matters with Michele," he created that. When you look at the bug that says the LM, he created that. Anything you see that I've done, he has created that brand. He has set me apart from other people. When he asked me, who do I want people to know who I am? That's how he, quote unquote, established my brand. And we're going to get more into that. We're going to get more into that. I'm excited. I'm excited. We have someone that says, oh, I'm going to have to reach out because I need a new logo. Okay.
Reach out.
Reach out. Please reach out.
Reach
So,
out and touch somebody.
absolutely reach out and touch somebody. So, um, what are some of the missteps, if you will, for those who are that you see when people are trying to start a business with improper branding? I mean, and I'm sure you can speak to this. You see people who come to you and they have already started their business and it's disjointed. What can you say about some of those issues that you see when people step out, when their logo is purple and their letterhead is green and they're just all over the place? What are some of the missteps and mistakes that you have seen?
Yeah, people have to understand that at the core of their business, that they have to realize that marketing and advertising, which is a element of marketing, is
Mm-hmm.
very. You have to know what sets you apart. You have to know um, what makes you different and unique,
Uh-huh.
because you can reach out to somebody who you've gotten a logo, but really didn't capture your heart, really didn't capture your vision. And through the years, what I've always purposed is to see myself in the client,
Mm.
look at their heart, put myself in their shoes, because just like you, I want your branding to be top notch, to be excellent. We serve with excellence, and when serving clients, they expect excellence. But when they
Mm-hmm.
get people who do a shoddy job at designing their logo and branding material, and their identity, then and they're not satisfied with it, then they come to me and say, well, can you rebrand?
Can
Because
you fix it?
can you fix it? Right. And sometimes I can't fix what has already been done, but I redo and I recreate, because me recreating their vision for what they want, it opens up my passion, so I can feel their passion in the brand. And so it's all about knowing a person's strengths and their style and their purpose and why they want to do a rebrand.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people now, especially in this pandemic, are repurposing, refocusing,
Yes.
and reevaluating their brand.
Mm-hmm.
Me, all through the years, I've rebranded my logo. Yeah, I probably got three logos before the one I finally decided that this is the one that I'm gonna have for a while,
Uh-huh.
unless I get another uh, vision to do something different. But I try to. You want to be relevant. You want to rebrand. You. It's one thing to rebrand um, throughout the years, but it's another thing when you have already branded with somebody, you're not satisfied with what you received, and then clients come to me and say, "Well, Shaun, can you rebrand me?" And I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate to have clients who are very satisfied with the final product.
Yes, and I see one of our individuals from the listening audience said Shaun did my tax logo. And of
Yes.
course, we know branding sets the stage for who people are. You said something about yourself that you it or let me backtrack. You said something about people who come to you and they ask you to fix it or to make them look like what's in their head.
Yeah.
And so for many, I have something here that says some people will ask you to fix something or create something, but they don't know exactly what it is that
Yeah.
they want.
Yeah.
How do you take the words that they send to you by email?
Right.
Because I'm going to put myself out there. I drew three letters on a piece of paper. I said, I want my logo for my personal business to look like this.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, when he brought that MIJ out and it looked exactly the way I wanted, with purple, with sparkles, and it was amazing. So how do you capture a one-dimensional thought, a
Yeah.
one-dimensional thought, and you bring it to fruition? Because I have watched you, because for those of you who are just tuning in, Shaun is my husband, but I have seen his work, I've experienced his work, I've used his work, and I have watched him take something that I put on a plain piece of paper and bring it to life. How do you do that? Tell us how
Yeah.
you do it.
Yeah. I mean, I get that all the time. They just give me words. They'll give me scribble on paper and scan it and send it to me by email. And I got to try to figure out how to do this. But I always saw my gift, because it is a gift. Is it a gift? It's a gift from God, and He gives me the creativity
Mm-hmm.
to do what I do, um, because I gave it back to Him. And every time I have to just really focus on the client, focus on the person, and like I said earlier, tap into their heart, tap into their mind.
Mm-hmm.
What is their identity? How can I build on their identity? How can I tell their story from creating what they sent me, whether it's words or whether it's writing on paper or a drawing. Sometimes I have to draw out their logo, scan it, upload it into Illustrator, and then recreate it like that. To be an object, to be a shape, to be a logo, to go from point A to point B. And so it goes from start to finish, but it's how you work the middle. It's how you um, help the individual, help the client to see themselves first in that particular brand or the particular logo, and what's their purpose
Mm-hmm.
behind doing. What's their purpose for behind promoting their business, that makes them to set them apart for their brand. But also, I want people to make money. I want people to grow. I want people to expand in their brand. And so there's three things that I uh, convey. When I tell people that they have to be the brand, that they have to be bold, they have to be brave, and they have to be better. You have to be bold, you have to be brave, and you have to be better. So sometimes when I work with clients, I have good conversations with my clients, and we talk about their branding, we talk about their logo, and we have these discussions. And normally I just say, well, I got it, or I'll take care of you, or I'll serve you in whatever capacity I can help you in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did so many people's rebranding, and it really captured what they originally wanted. And they, normally it's like, thank you for fixing, or thank you for helping, or thank you for taking on this project so I can go to the next level in my business. And it's
Mm-hmm.
all about helping them to see who they are, their identity in their own brand.
Awesome. We have a question from our listening audience. It says, if we are identified by our brand,
Mhm.
how do we separate the brand of what you're known for? If you're known for several different things, does this send a confusing message? You helped me with this, so I know you can answer this.
Yeah, it does send a confusing message. That's why you have to just Like I said, you have to be, in order to be better, you have to learn how to be innovative. We're ever learning, we're ever growing. So you have to reevaluate your business because your brand might not be where it needs to be in 2020, where it was in 2000 and 1980, in the 80s or in the 90s. You
Wow.
know, you have to evolve. You have to use your voice in your brand and show your personality. You have to your brand is also a part of your character. It's a part of who you are. And so you also have to know your audience. Because again, the audience you had last year might be not the audience this year. You know, the people that you worked with last year might not be the people that you work with this year. So you got to know your audience. You always have to expand. You also have to be consistent. So what is how can you be consistent in developing your brand and not confusing people on what was and what should be?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was is the old way. We're in a whole different season, a whole different time. We're doing things differently. Think a lot of things are going digital. So how can you be consistent and growing your brand and building on what you've been given so you can have that potential and showing people that this is who you are, this is where you should be, this is where you need to be, this is the brand, that the new brand. What's your new brand? All right, so you got to take a step back. You got to re-strategize. Like I said, we about to approach 2021. You have to re-strategize and learn how to reposition yourself so you can reach your potential, your ultimate purpose. What is your ultimate purpose for your brand? And so when you before you get there, you have to re-strategize. You have to rethink how you're going to um, be more innovative and restructuring your business and your brand.
Okay. You said a lot. You said a lot of good stuff. And one of the things I want to back up, because when our question came, the one thing I thought about was how you have clients such as myself who wear many hats.
Yeah,
And so we have an entrepreneurial spirit. And so we have a lot of arms to who we are.
yeah,
And so when I came to you, or some of the things you came up with, you said, babe, I think you need to. I was like, okay. So when you see me, people see Michele, but they don't see all of the arms. They don't see the professor. They don't see the preacher. They don't see now the talk show host. They don't see, this, the person who's the trainer, the person who, and so what you did for me was you took several entities of who I am and you delineated them. And each one of them has its own brand.
right.
And so that, I guess that goes back to identifying,
Yeah,
because the question came across about, is that confusing? And so for people like myself, people like yourself, people like the individual who left this comment, they have many facets to themselves. And so
yes,
when you have this conversation with them about branding, and then they say, well, I don't know. And like you just said, you have to capture who you are. What do you want the world to see you as? And
yes,
so if that means three different logos,
yeah.
that's three different brands. Am I correct in that assumption that it's three
You on
different
point.
brands, three different
You on point.
logos, three different?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
awesome.
on point.
So when you,
So for
I
so
listen. Go ahead, babe.
so for me, like I'm a apostle, a pastor, a teacher, a preacher, a
Mm-hmm.
DJ. Uh, the list goes on. I wear many hats too. My heartbeat and my passion, my love is not just ministry, but it's graphics, it's media. And
Absolutely.
so I have that passion for it. That's my passion. And so I put more of my energy into doing graphics, and I compartmentalize or I categorize the other hats that I have. So I have a hat drawer. So in my hat drawer, I separate the fedoras with the
Yep.
Kangos and my fitted hats and stuff like that.
And your
So you
baseball.
have to learn, right, my baseball guys. You have to learn how to uh, categorize. Like right now, you are your talk show. I'm graphic designer. Okay, this is who I am right now. Then
Mm-hmm.
you shift into the other, but you have to build a brand for each entity that you have.
Okay.
But also, some things might not be as important than the one that you should be doing.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Like, if say like I want to go in, I want to get into marketing, more marketing and advertising and PR, but my heartbeat is graphic design, and I want to get into printing because one of my printers just shut down. He just decided to close down. Phenomenal print business. Now I gotta find another one. But okay, so that okay, what do I need to do? If I want my own print shop, if I want my own graphic design studio, then I gotta build to that. But right now, that's not a priority because I have 300 clients that I have to serve. But if as I build on that, I'm also building on my brand. And then when it gets to where it becomes reality for me to have the studio and the printing
Uh-huh.
and things like the marketing, the PR, what have you, the other entities of it, building my portfolio, then you know, I can build on that brand and it can be incorporated. But some of the things that you have to focus on one thing at a time, because if you're doing too many things, you have too many arms, you're directing the whole choir. It could be challenging. Some's gonna go lacking.
Yeah.
Something's gonna go lacking. And with 300 clients, I can't let nothing go lacking.
I know
And
that's right.
especially doing stuff for you.
Absolutely. Well, see, I put my stuff on the back burner. I always say, baby, you can do my stuff later, but you always seem to sneak it in. But and I appreciate it.
No,
Thank you.
I get up 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Still
So
get up real early
let me do her stuff.
and work on my stuff. But
Right.
here's the thing. And so, many of us feel that, looking good for our business is good enough. But you and I both know that we operate from the perspective of excellence. So give us some pitfalls of this DIY branding.
Yeah,
This
like
this do-it-yourself branding. I've watched you get frustrated over some DIY branding. Help us
yeah,
out.
I mean, I see, and I'm gonna keep it real. I see some stuff on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, all over. Some people send me stuff. I'm like, what in the world? Now that's what I say. I don't tell them that directly to them, but I gotta keep it real. And I want to help so many people out because again, this is a passion. This is what I do. And I and trying to be relevant and helping people to take what was, because I know how it was when I started out. I started doing something and I started doing graphic design in Word.
Yep.
I look back at my old stuff. I'm like, what in the world? And so sometimes we can fall in these pitfalls where we're doing our own stuff. And if you really want to do things with excellence, you'll reach out to somebody who really has your heart, who really is an expertise in what they're doing and is flexible. I've always been flexible with my clients.
Yeah.
I'm faithful to my clients. I haven't always gotten it right. I have had my mishaps every now and then, but still, my clients, I'm faithful to them, and so I kind of walk with them through the process of not experiencing these pitfalls. Meaning that you don't have to use a jackleg graphic designer that's doing shabby work where you can come to me and give me a try and I can work it, I can do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, I don't knock. If you have to be the brand where you are, you have to be the brand where you are. So if you're on a budget, if you're on a budget, I work with people on budgets with budgets too. But if you're on a budget, then you have to use resources like Fiverr and Canva. You have to use resources that's going to help you to build on your brand that's going to be affordable until you go to the next level. You're not exhausting yourself. That's another pitfall. People exhaust themselves and tap out their budget because they want a big production. They want they want to promote big, and you're not there. You
Yeah.
can't promote big when you got little.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say it again. You can't promote big when you have little. That's one of the downfalls. One of the biggest downfalls, when you don't have enough money to do what you need to do, save up a little bit more, or reach out to somebody who will work with you and help you to build on your brand.
Absolutely. And so you have individuals, and somebody put a comment up here. One of your clients says, Shaun P. Johnson Sr. is creative and has a heart for his client and his work. Absolutely. I see you toil. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. And we're going to get to this later, but the work that he does is it far outweighs what he gets paid. I'm just going to pin that right there. But one thing that I've noticed is that when they see your work, they can almost tell that you did it, because there's, I mean, all the little nuances, the little flashes, all of the little things that you put in there is amazing. And so talking about these pitfalls, and then we have some people who come to you, and they want the big dream on the budget, but they want you to do it as a blessing.
Come
Not
on.
not realizing, and I'm it's a selfish plug, but you're my husband and I live with you. Not realizing that a blessing for them takes money out, takes food out of your mouth.
Right.
And so how do we get people to appreciate the gift and the time that you expend in order for them to make the money that they need? Because you said at the top of the hour that your business is your brand, you are your business. But if your business looks shabby, nobody's going to come to you.
Right.
Am I right about that?
You're
So if
right.
you show them something that's a jack leg logo, and it's not clean around the edges, it's pixelated, and the colors are not bleeding right, people are going to look at you like you're jack leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah. I mean, you have to, again, you have to just reach out to somebody that can help you to build on your brand. I'll normally tell people, you know, start with the vision, write the vision, make it plain. Start with the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Be different, be unique. Of course, you have competition out there, but be different, be unique. Start with your logo.
Mm-hmm.
Your logo, I tell clients, your logo is your brand. Your logo is a visual presentation of who you are.
Wow. Say that.
Your logo is a visual presentation of who you are. When they see your logo, they see your brand. If your logo looking ghetto, then they're not gonna come to you.
Mm-mm.
But if your logo look professional, look like it's a Fortune 500 company, and you got $500 in the bank account, then I like, wow. People see the flyers that I do. People see your stuff. People see other people's stuff, and they're like, man, they look like they got it going on, but they don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Right.
People don't know that. Yeah, you're right. I don't charge much, but I'm always getting projects. I'm always getting clients, new clients to work with, and so it's a purpose behind what I do. Because I want to help people to build on their brand, to build on their identity, to build on their strengths, to build on where they are. Because a lot of people just don't know where they are, and that's why they come to me and say, can you help me? Because I'm stuck. I don't know which way to go. I'm trying to build in this business, but where do I start? Start with your logo.
Mm-hmm.
Start there, and then build. Then don't come out straight out the gate doing a website, full blown website. Don't even got a logo.
No logo.
Don't even got a name for the business. Start with the name, do the logo, and then do a business card. Slowly but sure. Yes, still do business cards. Yes. If I tell clients, look, I charge a certain amount to develop a website from ground up, but here's some other resources that you can use, and I can help you to build on if you use Wix, if you use Squarespace, if you use Vistaprint, if you use webbizbuilder.com, any third party company that has templates already set up, I can help you to build on that where it's affordable and inexpensive. And so that's where you start. You start with your name, your logo, and then you build from there. It's all about helping people to build on their identity and their brand. You got to have the drive for it.
Yeah.
One thing you said, babe, is that you have to prepare yourself in this pandemic, because
Absolutely.
after this, are you going to be ready to take on the world? Are you
Mm-hmm.
going to be ready to put your business out there? You know, some people are already ready now. Some people are doing it now. But if you're just starting out with your business, start now, prepare now, because after this, you got to be ready. You
Absolutely.
got to be ready. And so you have to build on your brand where you are.
Mm-hmm. That's some good stuff. So we have a question coming in that says, does branding include website building?
Yes, it does. Branding is included. You have to, whether you do a full website or a 3-page website, or like you say, you use other resources like Wix and Vistaprint,
Or just a landing page?
or just a landing page, right? Just have a one pager, that captures who you are. My slogan for my business is capture, convert, create. I capture who you are, I convert what you do, and I create your brand so you can be the best of who you can be. And that includes your website. And so
Right.
your website can't look shabby either. Your
Mm,
website can't look unprofessional either. You
absolutely.
want your website to look professional, because this is who you are. This is your brand. Website includes branding. Website is where people get to meet you before they meet you.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. That's good stuff, because and you and I, we both know we both build websites, but one thing that kind of gets in my craw is when I look at someone's website or someone's um their idea, their DIY of branding, and I'm like, if you are really serious about who you want to be, you
Mm-hmm.
got to pay attention to the details. I'm
Yeah,
talking misspelled words. I'm talking about grammatically incorrect. I'm talking about disjointed coloration, all of these different things. And there was something you said earlier, and I've never forget this because someone else said it. You have to look like you've already made it
come on
before
now.
you made it.
Yeah.
So this looks like, I'm a Tamara Hall, or I'm a pseudo Oprah Winfrey or something like that. But I did this on my computer. I did
Yes,
this on
yes.
my computer. My husband did my logo and my little logo and my bug, but everything else I did on my computer. But I think people get so hung up on costs. And yes, branding costs. If you want to make money, you got to spend money. And I think people get so caught up in the blessing end of it that they forget that if you want people to take you seriously, you have to look like you're serious about who you are. Am I right about that?
And you're right, because I always say you have to invest in your gift. What is your gift? What is your purpose? What did God give you to do? You have to build on the purpose so you can promote your business and your brand and put some money in your pocket.
Money in your pocket.
In your pocket, because we about money. And you got to get to a point, you know what? I'm not charging low budget rates anymore. I got to go for mine. You got
Absolutely.
to go forward. It starts with an idea and develops into a brand. Build your brand where you are. Start with a name, start with a slogan, start with your logo. Build where you are. You have to move forward with that drive and determination. Like I said, my wife, I see your drive and determination. It helps me. When I see other people, businesses that I do, when I brand for them, I say, what, I got to step up my game. It helps me to do what I need to do. And you got to get to the point in your life that you say, you know what, I got to go for it, no matter what it takes. I got to go for it. If you got to save $5 here, $10 here, $20 here, you gotta do what you got to do so you can get to where you need to be. Amen.
Absolutely.
And you can look like Oprah. You can look like Tamara Hall, on a budget. But
Absolutely.
you're doing things with excellence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you said something, and this is what, if I can say, dropped in my spirit. If you look cheap, people are gonna support you cheap.
Come on.
If
Yep.
you look cheap, people are gonna support you cheap.
Yeah.
So if you come out the gate with, unidimensional flat logo, and then your business cards have no coloration, there's no depth to them, and people are going to be like, well, if they didn't pay for their own branding, I'm not going to pay full price for their services.
Come on now. Yeah.
Am I right in that assumption? I mean,
You're
because
right.
if they look at any of my many websites, they're going to see who Pastor Michele is. They're going to see what Grace Point is. They're going to see what Life Matters with Michele is. And they're going to see mij.com, what that is. All four of them, everything that I am, they see, like you said, they meet me before they meet me.
Yes.
And so walk us through that one more time for those who are just joining us and those who didn't hear that part. How does your brand cause people to meet you before they meet you?
Yeah, you have to start with an idea. You have to, start with a slogan and the logo. And everything has to be uniform. Everything has to be uniform. Because when they see your logo on your business card, it shouldn't look differently from your postcards and your banners. Everything should be uniform. Everything should be on point. When they see your website, they see everything else. All of your marketing material looks the same.
Yeah.
You know? Even when you take photos, and that just gets me, like you said, in my craw. I tell people, stop sending me photos of you standing in front of the shower curtain. That's not gonna get it. Send me another, or your project is on hold until you send me a professional photo.
Or,
Take
or
professional. Go ahead.
or at least something that you can work with, because
Yeah,
I've seen you hold your head over some of these photos that people have sent you. I'm like, what is that? You're like, babe, I don't know what this is. And then you try to give them what they want, and the first thing they say is, well, is there any way you can make the picture better? And if you send me a better picture.
yeah, yeah, right. And there's things you have to do. There's things I request, so you can look good in print. You can
Mm-hmm.
look good on your site. So when people visit your website, when people see your business cards, when people see your postcards, when people see your retractable banners, when people see your social media covers, when people see your logo, when they see your brand, when they see you connected to your brand, they see you before they meet you, and they
Absolutely.
see excellence. They see, oh man. Then it goes a little step further. Who did your stuff? Because I want to know who did your stuff. It don't have to be me. It could be somebody else. But who did your stuff? Because this looks great. This is excellence. And so you have to, like I said earlier, you got to, in building your brand and being the brand, you got to be bold. You have to be brave, and you have to be better. Get better in doing what you have been assigned to do. Get better in being innovative, being creative. If you don't know anything technical, there's tutorials on YouTube. Reach out to me. I teach tutorials and show you how to develop a website and show you how to work in Photoshop or Adobe Creative Suite. I will show you how to, build different things and do different things as it relates to graphic design and multimedia and what have you. Now, also, if there's something I cannot do, I will learn how to do it right there on the spot. Like
Yep.
somebody asked me, well, can you do video animation? And I was like, yeah, I can do it. Looking crazy, sitting at my desk. And I said, you know what, Shaun? Either you learn how to do it or you turn down the project.
Yep.
So and you have this is the perfect time, but any time is a good time, but you have to start somewhere, and you have to build on your brand and learn the things that you need to learn. If you're going to do it yourself, you know, learn how to do graphic design, learn how to design a flyer.
Well, let me put a pin in that. If you're going to do it yourself, it can't be something that's shabby and then you're expecting to get real paying clients, because people will do it themselves. Because we've both seen DIY projects for logos and all of this. They're like, well, I'm not getting any clients. Nobody's calling me. So if you're going to be DIY, make sure you have FYI. You have the information that you need to look as professional as you believe that you need to be paid for, because there's no point in getting frustrated with like I said, a one color unidimensional logo, and you want to know why nobody takes you seriously. We have a question. Once you've created your logo and even your website, is it wise to invest your money in social media marketing where they charge you to promote your brand?
No, do not. It depends on where you are. If you just starting out, or if you had a certain budget, but you got a lot of other things going on, you got 3 other businesses, or you have to know where you are. I said it earlier. You got to know where you are. Know where your brand is. Know where your business is. Businesses go in stages.
Yeah.
You have to build brick by brick. Building a brand doesn't happen overnight. You have to start somewhere. And so you got your logo, you got your website, and now you want social media accounts. But don't pay for it. But you do market and you do advertise on these platforms to draw people to your business. But you got to know your audience. You got to know who you're working with. You got to separate the people who's not for you and the people who want to invest in you. Mm-hmm. Let me say it again. You got to support the people that's not for you. Can't support or worry about the people who's not for you. But you gotta look and reach out to the people who's going to invest in you. Mm-hmm. There's a group of people that will invest in your business and stick with you if you're doing a great job, if your brand is on point. Mm-hmm. Amen. So I say amen. So so
not church.
Right. So yes, have social medias. I have a social media account. One account on Instagram, one account. Because I have 3 other businesses and doing you have, and if you're gonna have businesses and you want social media accounts, you got to be able to manage that and manage your business. But don't pay for marketing if you can't afford it. If you can't afford it, is that's the route you want to go, then go for it. I don't discourage that at all. But know where you are in your business and your brand. And if you can afford to pay for advertising so you can reach a broader audience. But let me tell you something. Email works.
I was going to say that.
Email works. Word of mouth works better than social media, because people can scroll past and don't even see your flyer. You got to share it about 20 times in one day.
Yeah.
But email and word of mouth, it works.
Another thing that works is pointing people to your website. So every time you do something, make sure your website is on there. Every time you put a flyer, make sure your website is on there. Because again, your website has more information than your IG, than your social, than your Facebook page. Your website has, what about you. It has your history or whatever. It has your bio. It has your client testimonials. It has all of these different things, like you said earlier, honey, that your website lets people meet you before they meet you. And so again, email, you can use Constant Contact, MailChimp, but when you're talking to people and you ask them, can I add you to my email list? Because I'm working on building mine. Everything points to your website. And so if you have a website that gives them everything they need to know about you, they finally get to that contact page. They're sending you hey, I'd like for you to work with me. Am I correct?
Yeah, and add a pop-up to your website.
Mm-hmm.
where
Oh,
you
front
pop up
page.
and they can sign and subscribe to your website where you can provide information. You'll get feedback. Tell you email works. Email lists. Build email lists. Build up your clients. Start somewhere. If you
Yeah,
got 10 clients, send out referrals and then send out incentives for the referrals. If they
right.
refer you, they
$10.
get 10%, $10 off. You know, so so you got to do what you got to do, and you got to be creative and innovative in reaching a broader audience. And trust me, you will grow. You will grow. You would expand your business if you just do the basics.
Absolutely. And the thing is, being able to perfect the basics. Because, like you said earlier at the top of the hour, people are trying to do great things and big things with no budget, and they're frustrated and they're trying to figure out why they can't get themselves out there. The simplest of things can build
Yeah,
your market, can build your brand, can get people towards you. And like you've told me, like my coach told me, point people to your website.
yeah,
Um, and someone says, are you referring to Constant Contact regards to email? Absolutely. Constant Contact, MailChimp, all of those, once you start building your list of people, then you can start sending them little things, hey, guess what? We're doing this week, or we're doing a webinar this week. This is something I'm learning now because I have so many things on my plate, but trying to get them all, to not to gel necessarily. Now, my husband, he doesn't, like I said, all of my branding. But if I want people to come to my MIJ for my speaker and my training and my coaching, I have to do things that point them there. For ministry, I have to do things that point them there. So as we wind up, honey, give me, let me see, your top 3 revelations that people need to know about themselves or their business. Top 3 revelations. Well, you said be brave, be bold, and be better. That
yeah,
could be that. But if that's what it is, I want you to expand on the being brave part. Because a lot of people, even myself, I was afraid, and you can testify, I was afraid to put myself out there.
yeah,
Help people be brave. Come on, honey, tell them.
yeah. You got it. It's a bold world out there, and it's a dog eat dog world out there. It's a cutthroat society, and you got to know who you're working with. But
Yeah,
you got to know who you are, and you got to just let that fear go.
yeah.
You got to let the fear go. You've been dealing with this fear for so long. It's time not only to be bold, be better, but you got to be brave. You have to build on that drive and passion that you have inside of you in your heart. And you got to know who you are, but
Mm-hmm.
also you got to know your audience. You have to create a comprehensive and cohesive strategy, not just for your life, but for your brand and your business. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It is your mission. It is your duty. It is your assignment that you create a mission statement that's going to speak to you, but also speak to your audience, to your
Absolutely.
purpose. Why are you existing in this world? Why are you here? What are you doing? Why are you sitting on that couch? Why are you living in fear when God has given you the tools and equipped you with the energy and strength to succeed in your very own business? So
Mm,
you got to be brave, especially in 2020 and 2021. The world is passing by. I can remember, if I can go to the Bible, when the man at the pool of Bethesda,
38
people
years.
just kept passing by him. They kept passing by him, and finally he realized after 38 years, you know what? I need some help. Don't
Mm-hmm.
wait that long. You know, don't look. 2020, 2021 gonna pass by, 22 gonna pass by, and you still in the cut, scared. You know, I'm so proud of my wife. I am so proud of her because
Thank you,
she
baby.
has taken the leap of faith. She has taken that drive and that passion to release that fear of starting her own business and even her own talk show and doing things in ministry. She has her own institute. So she's doing things. She's on the move because she decided I'm not just going to be bold. I'm not just going to be better, but I'm going to be brave. And I encourage you to be brave. All right. And so this world does not know that you exist if you don't tell them that you exist.
Right.
This world does not know that you exist if you don't tell them that you exist beyond your brand.
Mm,
So you got to take risk, good risk,
absolutely.
because it's a business. And though it's risky, the rewards will benefit you in the end for being brave.
Wow, that's amazing. Again, for those who are just chiming in, we're talking about Be the Brand with Shaun Johnson Sr., my lovely husband. Yes, our guest today. And he talked about so much today. So just one thing I want our listening audience to remember, that just because we're locked in the house, just because we're in a pandemic, this is the season to plan for your next. And one thing that I know that my husband, as a graphic designer, has done, he has set me up for success so that when the world opens back up, they're going to know what Michele does and who she is. And so this is an encouragement for those of you who are out there. If you don't know where to start, I just need you to reach out to Shaun. Reach out to Shaun, www.spjgraphicdesigns with an S, or you can send him an email at spjgraphicdesigns@gmail.com. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Don't let this pandemic punish you, keep you from being who you're supposed to be. I told him, I said, honey, when we come out of this, I want to be somebody. I was always somebody, but I had to ask myself, who do I want to be on the other side of a pandemic? And so I started working on that. And then my husband branded me for all of those things that I am.
Yeah.
And so for those of you who need business cards, t-shirts, brochures, retractable banners, websites, whatever the case may be, my husband is your guru. He's the graphic guru, I promise you. And his prices are, I always tell him he's too cheap. I'm just going to put it out there. He's too cheap. What he does for some people for $50, you would have to pay $250 for it. And so I know for a fact that he does pristine work, and he will certainly make your business look like you have $1 billion in the bank and you may be resting on 5, but he's going to make you look like you are rich. You know what I'm saying? Someone said, don't let this pandemic punish you. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. But again, honey, if you can just close us out and just not with prayer, just give us some, I know he'll bow his head in a minute. Give us the last thing that you want people to know. Well, first of all, tell them what your greatest joy is as a graphic designer, and then tell them, just close us up with what you want them to know in this last few minutes about being the brand.
Yeah,
Your great
my greatest joy in being a graphic designer is helping people to develop and be determined to reach their destiny.
Amen.
I put my heart and soul into every single project that I do. And I
Yeah.
want people to not only see it, but feel it, to understand that with excellence and partnering together by being creative and seeing their vision become a reality, that it will become real to them, that they can reach their destiny and go beyond their brand. I want people to go beyond their brand.
Wow.
And so I want to leave you with this. Be everything that you were created to be. Don't waste time. You got to start somewhere. You got to start with who you are and being the brand and being beyond the brand. All right. And so when I do stuff with my wife, that's another one of my greatest joys because I want better for her. I
Thank
want the greatest for her. And so we represent each other.
Mhm.
And so when I see her looking good in print, it makes me look good.
Absolutely.
But I'm in my humility and my servanthood. I just I'm a servant at heart. So I love serving people, especially graphically.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure that people are authentically reflecting their creative process to go beyond the brand.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, this has been a wonderful show today. I tell you, Life Matters with Michele. This has been some good stuff on today. And I want to thank you all for joining me today. And I thank you most importantly for my special guest, my husband today, Shaun P. Johnson Sr. Thank you, honey, for coming on and telling our community, helping our community to understand how they can be better, how can they be bold and brave by being the brand. For our listening audience, you can watch the recap, you can watch the replay, you can hear the replay, and you can just go to my YouTube channel. It's called Life Matters with Michele TV Official. That's Life Matters with Michele TV Official. And you can watch the replay of this episode. I tell you, make sure that you like and share. And of course, please subscribe so you can go back and hear, see every time that I post a new episode of the show. You can also listen to this broadcast that's going to be broadcast on sensationalsoundsradio.net. That's sensationalsoundsradio.net. You can hear this same show played on that channel on Fridays at 4 o'clock p.m. If you would like to be a guest on our show, I'm taking bookings for July. We are booked up every single Sunday until June, actually. So I'm taking guests for June. If you have a topic to discuss with our community in particular, how we can be better, how can we can be bold, how can we do and be what we were called to be, reach out to me at www.iam-mij.com. Once again, that's www mij-.com. Once again, that is www.iam-mij.com. And again, don't forget to go to the YouTube channel, Life Matters with Michele TV Official. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share. Well, thank you, honey, for joining me on the show today. It has been wonderful. Again, my guest was Shaun P. Johnson Sr., our graphic designer guru. Yes, yes, yes. Again, if you all want to reach out to him, please, ma'am, please, sir, visit his website at www.graphicdesign.com or email him at spjgraphicdesigns@gmail.com. Well, I am your host, Michele Irby Johnson. Thank you again for joining me on Life Matters with Michele, where we talk about what matters to you. Talk to you later. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.